Alright, let's do a knife review. What you see in front of you is a Kizer Sheepdog C01C model. This is from Kizer Knives. It is what is considered in 2017 to be a high-end Chinese production knife. Just think zero tolerance from China. That's what you're looking at as far as production values. This is a licensed version of a folding cleaver from Sheepdog Knives, Chris Conaway at Sheepdog Knives. Look for them online, find them. They do some sick looking stuff, guys. It is a folding cleaver. Keep that in mind. If you're thinking of purchasing, take a very good look at that blade. It is a blunt on the front end there. This is not a stabby knife. It is going to have limits in use because of that blade profile. Keep that in mind. It's a titanium frame lock. It does have a hardened steel lock face insert. The blade steel is CPM S35VN, which is becoming very popular in the mid-range knife segment. It's an improved version of S30V. I really like it. I think honestly it's my favorite everyday carry steel. They improved the machinability and polishability of it so you can get a wide range of finishes off of it. It will take a keen edge. It has good toughness and wear resistance, but it is fairly easy to sharpen. I've not had any issues sharpening it as long as you maintain that edge. Typically I will strop a few times or more in between sharpenings depending on how I use the knife. The dimensions. The blade length is 3.35 inches. The handle length 4.43. That's an overall of 7.78 inches. Blade stock on my calipers, I got 159 thousandths, so the manufacturer is probably saying 160 thousandths. Handle thickness was 508 thousandths, and the weight, according to the manufacturer, is 6.17 ounces. So overall, it's not a super long knife with the basically a 1/4 inch long or 3 1/3 long blade. It is wide, okay? When this goes in your pocket, it's going to carry wide in your pocket, but it does carry flat, and it is radiused. Everything is smooth on it. It carries comfortably. You just need to know it's going to be wide in your pocket. Like I say, it is a titanium frame lock. It does have a steel lock face insert. All the small hardware is steel. Some standard look like concave standoffs in steel. It features a blue anodized trim ring around the pivot, and that's aluminum or titanium, I don't know. The 3 milled cutouts on the front side of the handle, which I find may add some traction but are there for aesthetic purposes. There is no jimping anywhere on this knife. It is totally smooth everywhere, and after getting it, I am glad they didn't do any jimping on it. I think it would have taken away from the overall design idea of this knife, which apparently is just to design something that's ultimately smooth. Everything about that knife is smooth. From the bead blast finish on the handle, which feels silky in the hand. It gives a surprising amount of traction over what just a stone-washed bunch of titanium would feel, in my opinion. It's not really anything that's a texture, but it does give traction to a slight degree. So I like that. Everything is smooth, everything is radiused, everything feels melted. I mean, just everything, every bit of the blade is just as smooth and as even. The blade grinds are well done, they're even side to side. Lockup, fantastic. Centering, fantastic. And the flipping action is as good as it's going to get. This flips damn near exactly as good as my zero tolerance 0452 CF, which is well known to be one of the best flipper designs there is. This is just perfect. The D10 is perfect on it. It rockets out, and then is just free fall, smooth, closing up. It is just overall such a fantastic knife. Now on top of that, for your money, for your $204, which is what everybody is selling this at, you're going to get the added presentation that you get with the higher end Kizer knives. And that's going to include this neat little pocket pouch here. And I call it a pocket pouch because there's no any way to attach it to anything. You get one pocket on this side, you got two pockets on this side. This would make, actually this pouch would make a great minimalist pocket everyday carry kit pouch. You've got the three pockets. You're going to get at least a knife, a flashlight, and maybe a pry bar or a pen, whatever it is you carry that's a core item in your everyday carry. I think you could get a very small first aid kit in there with some pouched antibiotics and alcohol wipes, some Band-Aids, maybe some Tylenol, Benadryl, Advil, things like that. So I think the pouch is useful. The presentation was good. Came in nice double boxed with an inner presentation box. That's a little bit of extra you're going to get from this Chinese product because it's a little cheaper to manufacture in China. So we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to have a discussion on USA versus China. There is no one simple answer to this except to do away with your politicians. Okay? The problems we have in the United States are not because I bought this Chinese knife or you bought a Chinese knife. That is not what the problem is. It is with our politicians on both sides of the aisle. Okay? Don't start pointing fingers. They are on both sides of the aisle. They do not care about you or their country. All they care about is lining their pockets. And all of our trade deals have been skewed in a way to provide loopholes to both American manufacturing and international manufacturing in order to screw us and to get money into our politicians' hands. That's just a fact. You've got two different situations in the cutlery world that people like to argue about. The first one is the one you see in front of you. This is a licensed product. Sheepdog Knives is going to make money on every one of these that's produced. Okay? No, they're not going to make the $1,200 to $2,000 they would make on a custom model, but it is guaranteed money, and they are not guaranteed to sell a $2,000 custom. In fact, the majority of people in the United States spend about $20 on their knives. Okay, this knife at $204 is already more than 10 times as expensive as the average of what people in the United States spend. So, that, if you take that into account, I bought this knife from an American company that employed Americans. This company and these employees pay taxes in America, and they spend their income in America. All right? They go down to Walmart and spend their money there, which employs Americans. So you can see, you can't just say, I'm never going to buy anything made in China, because you actually would be hurting Americans. This knife, even the original designer made money off of it, maybe not as much. It's not a perfect world, but I can support this. What I cannot support are clone knives. Those are unlicensed copies of well-known knives, be it production or custom. The original manufacturer, designer, custom maker makes no money off of it. their designs and their intellectual property is being stolen, and they are losing money. And especially with small production and custom knife makers, there are shops out there, custom makers are usually a one-man shop. Okay, you take away 2 or 3 of his knife sales and you can kill his business. Okay, this guy is struggling to keep going because he loves this and he's trying to make a good run at it. Small production places, you're looking at like Medford knives, Strider knives, places like that. They just employ a limited number of people. It can hurt them a lot. They're not a huge company. And even the huge companies, let's say Spyderco. I see more Spyderco clones from all over the place. I'm surprised Spyderco sells a knife because some of their knives are a little pricey. And as I said, most people will never spend more than $20 on a knife, let alone $100 on a Spyderco. But maybe they will buy a $10 clone of a Spyderco. So I don't, like I say, it's a complex issue, one that we can solve with our votes. I don't care what you are politically, and I don't care. I don't even care. I don't care what race you are, what nationality you are, what sex you are. I don't care. We can fix this problem. We just can't fix it by sticking our head in the sand and saying, I'm only going to buy American, because one trip down to Walmart will dissuade you of that notion as being naive at best. But as far as the Kizer Sheepdog C01C sheepdog goes, I'm going to say buy it. I'm going to say go and buy it right now, actually. I don't think, at least from my example, guys, I don't know. This is a hunk of knife right here for $204. Quality material, exemplary fit and finish, a great design from the get-go to work with, comfortable, unique. You pull this out around any knife aficionado or enthusiast and you're going to start a conversation. If that's what you're looking for right now, then consider this knife in the cleaver segment. If you get it, enjoy it.